Undercover boss buys a truck at his own dealership, stops cold when he hears a customer behind him. The scent of motor oil and fresh leather filled the air as David Reynolds strolled through the showroom of Reynolds Auto, the very dealership he had built from the ground up. But today, he wasn't here as the owner. Dressed in jeans and a faded baseball cap, he was just another customer, a man looking to buy a truck. David had spent years overseeing numbers, marketing strategies, and expansion plans, but something inside him had begun to feel distant. His business was thriving, yet he had lost touch with what truly mattered, the people. So, he decided to go undercover, walking into his own dealership as an ordinary buyer, hoping to see his business from a different perspective. A young salesman named Jake approached with a warm smile. "Looking for a truck today, sir?" David nodded. "Yeah, I need something reliable, built to last." Jake led him toward a sleek, navy blue pickup. "This one's got everything: power, endurance, and a solid warranty. You won't regret it." David liked Jake already, his honesty, his lack of pushiness. As they talked, David noticed the other employees. Some were engaged with customers, while others laughed by the coffee station, seemingly at ease. He felt a quiet pride that his dealership was more than just a place to sell cars, it was a community. As Jake began walking David through the financing options, a voice behind them caught his attention. "Excuse me, sir." David turned and saw a middle-aged man with tired eyes and calloused hands. He was holding a small, crumpled envelope. His flannel shirt was slightly worn, his boots scuffed from years of hard work. Beside him stood a teenage boy, shifting awkwardly on his feet. "Sorry to interrupt, but I overheard you talking about trucks," the man said hesitantly. "I was wondering if you might be trading yours in." David frowned slightly. "I was planning to." "Why do you ask?" The man exhaled, glancing at his son before looking back at David. "My name's Tom. My boy here, Dylan, just got accepted into a college a few towns over. I work construction, and my old truck finally gave out last week. Been saving up for something used," but he rubbed the back of his neck. "Times are tight, and dealerships ain't exactly kind to folks like me. If you're trading yours in, maybe I could buy it off you, directly. I can't afford much, but I'll pay what I can." David looked at the boy, Dylan, who stood tall, proud, but with a hint of worry in his eyes. He glanced over at Jake, then back at the father and son. Something inside him stirred. "Tell you what," David said, his voice calm. "How about we take a look at some options?" Tom shook his head. "I don't have good credit, sir. And even the cheapest truck here is more than I can afford." David smiled. "Let me worry about that." Before Tom could protest, David turned to Jake. "Could you show them that pre-owned F-150 from last week? The one with low miles?" Jake hesitated but nodded, leading Tom and Dylan to the lot. David pulled out his phone and made a quick call to his general manager. "Take care of whatever financing paperwork you need to, but make sure that man drives off the lot with a truck today. And don't let him pay a dime." A few moments later, Jake returned, his face unreadable. "Tom's in tears," he said quietly. "He's never owned a vehicle that wasn't on its last leg." David nodded, watching as the father and son stood by the truck, disbelief washing over their faces. Finally, David removed his cap and took a deep breath. "Jake, I need to tell you something. I own this place." Jake's eyes widened. "Wait, you're David Reynolds? The owner?" David chuckled. "Yeah. And today, I was just a customer." He glanced back at Tom and Dylan. "But I needed this reminder, that this business isn't just about sales and profits. It's about people. About doing the right thing when we can." Jake swallowed hard, nodding. "You're a good man, Mr. Reynolds." David shook his head. "No. I just got lost for a while. But I think I'm finding my way back." As Tom shook his hand, unable to find the words to express his gratitude, Dylan stood beside him, his eyes filled with something deeper than appreciation, hope. And in that moment, David knew, this was why he had started it all. Not for the money. Not for the empire. But for moments like this, where kindness could change a life.